Everybody, we'll start as always with a brief opening statement from the head coach and then open it up for questions. Once we do that, if you'd like to ask a question, please get Amit's attention on your right or Mallory's attention on your left to grab the microphone to ask a question for the benefit of the cameras. Coach?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Obviously disappointed in the outcome of the football game. We had a lot of one-man and individual breakdowns offensively. We couldn't get anything going consistently, and you got to credit ISU. I want to congratulate Coach Spack, his staff, and his young men. A great friend of mine and someone that I have just amazing respect for. And we knew that today was going to be a battle. Did I think it was going to be this type of battle from a standpoint of scoring? Quite frankly, no. I thought we'd be able to move the ball better on the ground. I thought we'd be able to obviously pitch and catch better. So you got to credit ISU's defense. I mean, they did a great job up front. Again, looking at every time we drove the ball, they had a TFL if we crossed the 50. We had a holding call. We mistargeted or threw balls behind where they didn't need to be. So we've got a long way to go offensively. To be 5 of 18 is not good enough on third down. To only run the ball for 86 yards is not good enough. To throw the ball 17 to 41 is not good enough. A lot of work to do. Now the key thing is you stick together. I mean, right in the core of what we believe in is family, and when things are adverse and things are tough, you got to stick together. And that's all that you can do. You got to get up off the mat, and we got to obviously prepare the guys better as a staff. We obviously weren't prepared well enough because we didn't make enough plays. So a lot of work to do. 2 more games in this homestand, and obviously playing an outstanding opponent next week. So a lot of work to do ahead of us. So with that, how about some questions, please?
Coach, obviously the offense was a little bit more pass-heavy than we're used to seeing it. How much was that the idea coming into the game, and how much was that sort of a response to what was happening?
Yeah, our inability to run a football today is why we had to throw the ball so much. And, again, one-man breakdowns, holding plays. I mean, our O-line got outplayed flat out. We beat ourselves, and they beat us up. So, credit their defensive line and their front seven.
Hey, Coach. Saw no Justin Jackson near the end. Saw him getting worked on a little bit on the sideline. Any update on him? And then also Matt Harris didn't look good. Couldn't really walk off. Any update on either of those?
Matty obviously, an upper body injury from that standpoint. I just talked to him when he was in the locker room or in the athletic training room, and I didn't see the hit exactly on him, so I'm gonna take a look at it on tape. But was alert and talking to me about the game in the athletic training room. And then same thing with Justin. He had a lower body injury, and I was told that he couldn't go back in, so that's why we didn't put him back in.
Coach, last week you talked about the defense staying on the field for 39 minutes.
Yeah.
This week they were on the field for 34 minutes.
Yep.
Is this defense on the field more of them not making plays, or is it more of the offense struggling?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. Obviously in the first half, we didn't get off the field. I don't have the stats exactly in front of me, but I think we were much better on third down in the second half. And so that was a big part of it. We held them to 4 of 14 if you include the fourth downs. So, those critical downs you'll take that performance from your defense every time if you can hold the team to that. They were 3 of 13 on third down. I think the issues were more on first and second down, that we didn't, they were able to pick up some chunk yards on some easy throws that, we've got to challenge some routes. And then the same thing, from a standpoint of fitting some gaps and making some move back tackles, we weren't able to get that accomplished. And then obviously offensively, we went 5 of 18 on third down, I think is what it is, and then 3 or 4 on fourth down. So that's 8 of 22. We can't have that type of production on critical downs, third and fourth down, and expect to sustain drives and expect to score a lot of points. So we've got a lot of work to do on third down. Then we're 1 out of 2 in the red zone. I mean, they were in the red zone 4 times. We were in there twice. And we miss, obviously, a field goal that we've got to make. And if we make that, that's a totally different outcome to the game. So a lot of one-play breakdowns.
Fitz, do you think something's missing, or do you still think you can be the team you guys thought you could be, before the season?
Well, we just got to find a way to win. I'm not worried about the season right now. We got to find a way to make plays by coaching our guys better to win a football game, and as negative and as down as everybody is, the way you get out of it is by sticking together and working hard in practice. we've got enough veterans that they know how to handle this and fight through it and battle through the adversity. And then we've got a lot of young guys that just got to keep getting better and keep working hard to improve. And if we can get that accomplished, then we'll find a way to win. But I challenged the guys on Monday last week about being the hunter, understanding when you have the type of success that we've had, we're going to get everybody's A game, and we've gotten 2 A games in a row, and we've ended up a point short in both games. I wouldn't say either one of the teams that we played put together a Picasso, and obviously we haven't either. But, our hallmark around here is we typically win close games because we make plays down the stretch. And right now that isn't happening, so obviously that's my responsibility, and I got to find a way, obviously, for us to not be in these types of close games. But over my, 17 years here, just for some stinking reason, we seem to be in a lot of them. And we've won a lot of those games. And, right now we haven't found a way to get that done, either getting a critical stop, airing a 2-minute drill, or last week scoring, going across the goal line. There's enough blame to go around that we all have to take responsibility. And it obviously starts with me as the head coach.
Fitz, obviously the first half didn't go the way you wanted to. What was your message to the team at halftime, and then what was your message just now after the game?
Well, at halftime, it was pretty simple. What do you guys want us to call? What would you like us to run? From a standpoint of what do you think you can go out and accomplish consistently? Because right now, it's not that the calls are breaking down; it's that we got individual breakdowns. So let us know that. We'll make those adjustments. So we'll get that done, and then let's go out and play football. Go out and have fun and play. And, the guys were doing a lot more talking than we were as a staff because we were trying to get the things that we felt like weren't working fixed. And that's typically what we do at halftime. If I've got to throw chairs and break things, yeah, it's going to be a long year. You got to have that passion in your belly. You got to have that burning desire to be great and that will to win. And when you don't, or you're playing tentative because you don't want to make a mistake, that's what it looks like right now. It looks like we got a bunch of guys playing not to make mistakes instead of to make plays. That's what it looks like to me, and we're not having the same type of enthusiasm. I don't see the same type of enthusiasm. I don't see the same type of passion. I see a bunch of guys trying not to make mistakes instead of trying to make plays. And when you overthink things like we are right now for whatever reason, you're not good. You're inconsistent, and we're overthinking it. The fear of making a mistake or the fear of failure is debilitating as anything, and that's what I'm seeing right now. We've just got to simplify. We've got to fundamentally get better, and we've got to get some rhythm going on in all 3 phases and go from there.
Coach, through 2 games now, the team has pretty much gotten outplayed in the trenches in both of those games. Do you have really any explanation for that in any way for the team to improve on that going forward?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say we got outplayed in the trenches today on the defensive line. I think maybe offensive line-wise we did, but I wouldn't say that from the defensive line. I think last week it was a byproduct of guys probably playing too many snaps. And as you saw, we changed up our rotation today defensive line-wise, and I think that adjustment by Marty and Hank, actually worked out fairly decent. And we'll have to continue to look at that and where that goes. There's no way I could have predicted that our offensive line would be as inefficient as they were today. We grinded on them this week in practice. Obviously, we've got to continue to grind because we're not good enough. We're not consistent enough fundamentally. We're not executing well enough, and that's really disappointing.
You mentioned sort of a lack of enthusiasm and passion.
Yeah.
Did you get a sense before the game that, for lack of a better term, the team seemed a little flat?
Not at all. No, they were great. No, they were great all week, and they were. I'm talking about on the field. You know what I mean? When you watch us play on the field, you typically see a very passionate football team. I don't see that right now out of our defense. I see a bunch of guys playing. I don't see a lot of guys playing as one. I don't see them flying around playing with a lot of passion. Offensively, it's hard to get that going when all of a sudden you make a big play, you turn back around and it's holding. Or 8 guys have a block and 1 guy breaks down, and now we got to tackle for loss. Or we got a guy open and maybe our eyes aren't in the right spot at quarterback. We throw it to somebody else and it goes down. So we've just got to find a way to get some rhythm going offensively. So it's obvious it comes back to preparation. I think you play by the way you prepare, and obviously we're not preparing well enough, and that's my responsibility.
Coach, a lot of hype coming in about Anthony Walker. Do you think he's one of those cases where he's maybe overthinking? Do you think they're scheming towards limiting what he can do?
Today, I think from a standpoint of the run game, I thought he was fine. In the pass game, it seemed like most of the things were on the corners, right? It seemed like everything was outside the numbers where they threw the ball. So there wasn't a whole lot of activity for him. in the passing game per se. But in the run game, I thought today he was much better than he was a week ago. From my perspective on the sideline, I obviously got to watch the tape, but that's what I felt.
Anything else for Coach?
Obviously, two disappointing close losses. Who are you going to look to in the locker room as to get your guys to rally to keep them as one?
Well, it starts with me, right? I'm the leader, and it's got to permeate for me. I mean, I won't flinch. I promise you that. As I told the guys in the locker room, I didn't answer that question earlier. I'm sorry I didn't do that. So in the locker room after the game, that's what I said to them. I said, I believe in you. I believe in who you guys are, and I believe in what we are. It doesn't matter what I believe. It matters what you believe, right? And this is that time right now. I mean, the minute they walk out of that locker room, all they have to do is turn on their phone, and it's going to be what's wrong, right? And or this is wrong. And again, I'm blessed to have in my toolbox, I think, one of the great ways to approach life no matter what happens to you, and that's what I learned from Walk, and it's you got to point thumbs and not fingers. And so from a leadership standpoint, first I'm going to start to lean on the captains. Those 4 guys were put in that position, that responsibility for a reason. I'm going to have them take a critical and hard look at the way that they're playing, take a critical and hard look in the way that they're leading their side of the ball. Then I'm going to look at the leadership council next, which is primarily seniors, 6 guys, and expect them to understand what their roles are within their position groups. That's where you start. You start with your position group, and let's get that right. And then let's start with what's going on your side of the ball. And then let's stick together as a team, because if you start pointing fingers, it's like anything in life. It doesn't get anything accomplished. You got to point a thumb. You got to take responsibility. You got to understand why things are happening. And then as a coaching staff, we've got to present solutions. And that's, again, what was I saying at halftime? That's what I was trying to do. We were trying to present solutions. First of all, asking them what do they like and what do they want us to run. But then also, obviously, going in and talking as coaches and coming back and saying, okay, we know you want to do this. We also think we're going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So you just stick together. We're very disappointed for our fans. Very disappointed. I can't thank them enough for their support. And I know they're frustrated, but nobody's more frustrated than those young men in that locker room and that staff. And that's the group that's got to get it fixed. No one else is going to fix it. They've got to fix it by approaching each day with a relentless attitude and a relentless work ethic to improve and get better. And if we do that, we'll find a way to win and then get the momentum turned around the other way. So, again, credit ISU, credit Coach Spack, and we'll find a way to get this thing turned around ASAP.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you all. Have a great weekend. Go Cats.
And on that note, we are planning to bring in Captains Austin.
Thank you for your patience. With us today, we have captains from left to right, Austin Carr, Anthony Walker Jr., and Connor Mahoney. Please address the individual when I ask your question, and please continue flying our mic holders for the sake of the cameras. Go straight to the questions.
For all you guys, what do you make of this?
Offensively, I think it was a matter of putting together drives and finishing. We need to stress finishing better. I think we need to stop sputtering, convert on third down, and self-inflicted wounds really got to us.
Defensively, just got to be able to make one more play, man. I think that was the biggest thing. The awareness has to go up on that last drive. We have to get a stop, have to be able to get off the field on third down, and just got to be able to get a stop on that last drive. I think the offense, they gave us the lead, 7-6. We'll take it any day of the week against anybody. We'll take it as long as we have a shot to win. Defense has to be able to get off the field, and we'll take that one.
Offensive line-wise, I thought we got our butts kicked up front. Credit goes to Illinois State, but we didn't bring it today. And that falls on the whole group, 5 guys that were out there. But, I'm the leader of that group, falls on me. We didn't come to play, and we got our butts kicked up front. So credit to them, but it wasn't good enough today.
For all 3 of you, Fitz just said one of the things he's going to do is ask the captains to take a critical look at the situation, not just the game, but at the whole situation, and give him your opinions. What are you going to tell him when you take a critical look?
All right. So, I think, we lost, in a heartbreaking fashion last week. We lost in a heartbreaking fashion this week. And it comes down to the little things, doing the little things right. And we haven't done that 2 weeks in a row. So for one reason or the other, we're not finishing. We're not doing the little things right. So that's what we got to focus on to get better and just try to get 1 week better and go 1-0. It's our only choice.
You guys have so many players back from a really good team. You know, can you sense anything that's different? I mean, put your finger on anything that's kind of gone on these first 2 weeks?
Yeah, like you said, we have a lot of players back from last year, but that doesn't always equal success, and we can't go in with that mindset that, you know, just because we have players back from last year that this year's going to be success. We have to be able to go out each week and go 1-0, and I think right now we're figuring out, you know, like Coach Fitz said, how hard it is to win. There's a game of football as any given Saturday, any given Sunday, Friday, you know, whatever level you're talking about, anybody could lose on any given day, and I think, you know, we're realizing that it's hard to win. It's hard to win, and we have to be able to, like Connor said, do the little things right in order for us to win, put ourselves in position to win. So, you know, that starts with us as captains, but it trickled down all the way to the whole team. So, you know, it's going to be up to us as captains to, you know, come in Monday morning ready to go for next week.
Connor, the offensive line didn't play great today and also got called for 4 holding penalties. Do you have any idea sort of what happened today and how you guys can improve going forward?
Yeah, you know, the holding calls is kind of what Austin alluded to, is the self-inflicted wounds, and that's just unacceptable. And we're going to be better in that regard. Today, we just got our butts kicked. I mean, Illinois State, give them credit. They came out, punched us in the mouth, and you know, we've got to be better, and that starts with me. And then it goes to the other 4 guys starting the line. I got to be better, and I will be better, and the whole line will be better. And we're going to come to work this week, and it's our only choice. We'll be better.
Coach Fitch said that there's going to have to be a lot of thumb pointing and no finger pointing this week. You guys as captains, what's kind of going to be your message to your teammates to keep you guys together and try to turn this around?
I'm reminded of a couple years ago when we started off slow. Both home games we lost against Cal and then NIU. And I'll never forget when Trevor stood up and said, look, guys, this is either going to break us or going to bring us together stronger. And we've got no option but to do just that, to come together and regroup, circle the wagons, and get stronger together. We've got a great opponent next week in Duke. They're going to be coming in, and they're not going to take it easy. And winning isn't easy in college football. It doesn't matter what division. It's hard to win. And I think that I don't think that we took Illinois State easily at all. And I think we knew that it would be hard. But again, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. The wide receivers need to execute more. And 2 years ago, we came back and rattled 3 straight. And that started with, I think we were at Penn State. That's a tough win, but I have hope in us, and I think that as captains we need to communicate that we haven't lost the season. We've still got hope, and we have to come together stronger.
For all 3 of you, the defense was on the field for 34 minutes this week, 39 minutes last week. Is this the start, or what are you guys going to do to try to? Is it like the defense not making big plays, or is the offense just struggling to get the ball down the field?
Defensively, you know, we put ourselves in those positions to be on the field that long. We have to be able to get off the field on 3rd down. Last week we didn't do too well. This week, you know, we were able to make more plays on 3rd down, but you know, the constant winning on 3rd down, that's what we pride ourselves on, and we haven't gotten that figured out yet. We have to be dominant on 3rd down, and if we're able to get that done, then we'll be fine. We'll be able to get off the field, give the offense back the ball, but it starts defensively with getting off the field on 3rd down. So,
Yeah, on the flip side, converting 3rd downs. And I think today that really came down to what we did on 1st down, whether it was inability to run the ball, penalties, one-man breakdowns. It wasn't good enough. And when you get in a lot of 3rd and 6 plus, it makes it tougher to convert. So I think up front that starts on first down, getting some positive yardage and putting ourselves in better situations so we can convert those third downs.
Any further questions? All right, thank you very much. Thanks for being
Thank
with
you.
us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
See everybody